Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Nidoros.
So, we are going to be starting up Crusader Kings, because I like the idea of playing as Nidoros while I'm in Nidoros. I guess those previous videos that I was doing you guys aren't going to see because there was a sound problem, and I didn't do them the normal way. I am going to be turning off supernatural events because they're really immersion breaking for me, because magic doesn't exist. So the supernatural events were really weird to me, because most of the early expansions had supernatural events that felt more like it's kind of debatable whether what's going on is actually supernatural or not. But there's some very clearly supernatural stuff that exists in some of the more recent stuff. You can see that I have an Iron Man Nidoros here. That was from a test file. It actually, the video turned out really well, except for the fact that the audio is terrible, so I can't use it. So, we are currently actually right here, pretty much. This is where we are in the real world. You note that I don't have the camera on. That's because I'm in a friend's house, and I don't want to show off their living room. Also, I'm in my sister's hoodie from when she was like 12. God, this hoodie is probably 20 years old. And I do not look appropriate for camera. So anyway, let's see how terrible we are. Oh wow, we are really, really bad. Oh, and cruel, and craven, and proud, and slothful. Wow. So we have like the best combination ever, clearly. We're gonna choose... Man, do I want War Focus first? Or do I want... This is such a hard decision. Okay, I guess we'll make the decision based off of who we marry. So we're gonna marry ourselves off first to... Wow, okay, so... Our options here are not stellar. She has good intrigue, but that's about it. And I want to pick her because I need the... oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot I need to do the calculations for domain limit. I'm a dope. Okay, that's fine. So, become King of Norway is going to become our mission. And our initial goal here, let's take a look at how bad other people are at this whole martial thing. He has 0 martial skill. Wow. He has bad enough martial skill that I could actually take him. That's amazing. Okay, so I do not need... I thought I was going to have to set myself as War Focus, but I don't actually think I do. So we're going to have our Chancellor just chill. Let's set that actually into the chat, sorry. There we go. A little louder. Or turn down the music? Really? How can I fit in the hoodie? Well, it's actually a good question. I don't really. So it's not a great means of becoming warm. Let's see. I can actually turn up my mic rather than... No, I can't. I can't turn up the mic, sorry. This is the loudest the mic can get, so I turned down the game audio a little bit, so hopefully that'll be a little better. I can't even hear it. The game audio is almost completely non-existent for me. So we have a marshal who's actually good. We're going to have him train troops. We have a steward who can try to build our legend. I think that's what we're going to have him do. We're going to send our spy master down to the Byzantine Empire to spy on them. And our seer can go ahead and hunt apostates, because why not? Yeah, I have a lot of warm weather clothes that don't actually fit me, so my my waist is getting continually exposed to, you know, negative 10-degree weather or whatever it is. But it's apparently very warm today because it's now raining, so everything's going to be covered in ice by tomorrow. That'll be fun and not a danger at all. Okay, so I need to actually change some of my obligations. So we want to change the taxes for the church to increase the amount of taxes they pay me and decrease the amount of levies that they give me, because they're not giving me any levies to begin with. So they'll be paying me a little bit more tax. And what else do we need to do? Let's talk to you. You do not like me. Why don't you like me? Oh, because I'm cruel, craven, and slothful. Well, you know, that makes a lot of sense. I can imagine why you would dislike me. I'm not a very likable person. And let's see. This is so weird. I need to mute this with you. Can I eat with chopsticks? Yes, I can eat with chopsticks. I can eat with chopsticks. Though, when I do eat with chopsticks, people always think that I can't eat with chopsticks because I'm left-handed and everything looks weird when you are doing it with the opposite hand from what people are expecting. So people look at me and they actually think that I can't use chopsticks, but that is actually not the case. I do perfectly fine for myself. Now I'm debating whether I want to do business or rulership. I feel like... Can I get diligent from this? I think that the first thing that I want to do is do business, just because I'm going to need money. So we're going to do business. That will give us the ability to get some extra money. We don't have anyone to nominate as our successor. And we already have asked someone for marriage. We've changed all the laws. We are not going to join the Fellowship of Hell, so that would be unfortunate. We are going to try to set up basically a socialist utopia. Now, we were originally going to do a merchant republic, but I realized eventually that monarchies actually can be a bit more liberal with regards to their treatment of women. So I'm going to go with a monarchy instead. So this is good. We now have a domain limit of 5. 5 is good. I like 5. 5 is a lot better than some of the runs that I've been doing here. So we now have 512 max troops here, and this guy only has 431 here. 506 where he's capping out to. So let's see. I think that it's mostly about how you hold them, honestly, with chopsticks. If you hold them correctly, then they're very easy to use. If you hold them incorrectly, they're impossible to use. So it's just about the way that you hold it. So if you're having difficulty with them, like you think that, oh, well, this is requiring way too much manual dexterity, the problem isn't that your manual dexterity isn't high enough, the problem is that you're holding them incorrectly. That would be my guess. So if you hold them correctly, I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to use them without too many problems. So you just, you know, adjust your way of holding them until you get to something that feels comfortable-ish. Okay, so how are we doing here? We've got income. I don't want to pick up the market village yet because the most important thing that I need to do at the beginning is get control of a duchy. And I don't want to get a controlling share in more than one duchy until I can get a kingdom. But I do want to get controlling share in this initial duchy as quick as possible. So let's take a look at our levies. We've got 493 right now, and there's 506 total here. So when we do declare war here, we're going to be... Actually, we're not declaring war first. We're going to raid them first, and then we will declare war on them after we finish raiding them. I find that it's much easier to deal with, to just... I mean, it's kind of debatable how you want to do it, but particularly because these are mountains, I think that it's generally speaking better to just go raiding. And if you raid them, then what happens is you can destroy all of their levies, you can take a bunch of money from them, and then you can just declare war, and they don't have any way of defending themselves, so you just walk onto their provinces. If you declare war first, then you have to actually fight them. But by doing it this way, all you have to do is siege, and you never have to do any fighting. So I think that it saves lives, and it's generally good for you to do it that way. So that's the way that I prefer to handle it, and it's not quite as fast, but you also get to raid the province, which is nice. So let's see, what else do we do? So, and because they're raiding right now while they're doing this initial siege, they cost practically nothing. They cost practically nothing to maintain, because while you're raiding, your troops actually only cost 10% of their initial cost. Okay, so we're trying to accumulate about 160 ducats. That's what this means. I guess it's just called wealth here. It's just like generic, you know, some unit of wealth to give an idea of how much money you have. Let's see. Yeah, you also need a meal that's appropriate for chopsticks as well, definitely. And the other nice thing is that when you raid these temples, you get a lot of money. Alright, so do we want to finish raiding here? I don't think we need to finish taking the rest of the money. Oh, never mind. The thingers didn't actually have anything, so we're fine. So we are going to drop our levies, because you can't declare war while your levies are raised. But we want to bring our levies back, because otherwise we'll lose a bunch of troops. So we bring our levies back. We declare war. We're going to do a subjugation war. And we can do that an unlimited number of times within Norway, because we have the life goal to become the king of Norway. And he can bring up 40 troops to defend himself with. And I don't want to be... You know what? Maybe I do. I'm going to put Grimmer on the front lines. And if he dies horribly, so be it. So be it. That's fine. If I have to restart, I'm not going to mind that much. But I believe that when you're Craven, being on the front lines has a chance of removing Craven from you. And if you're not Craven, you have a chance of getting Craven while you're on the front lines. So it's... People learn their true nature while they're on the battlefield. Alright, so we are married, and we need to make you like me more. How can I do that? I guess I could be a better person. That would certainly help. Wow. She's like, nope, you might be my husband, but that does not mean that I have to give a shit about you. Huh. Okay then. It's really sad. So where are you from? Oh, she's from Upland. Okay. So I need to figure out where I want to invade next. You guys, I never actually checked this either. So you have how many allies? So he has a bunch of tribal vassals that he can call in. There we go. So we can now form this duchy if we so please. And we can drop our levies if we want to. Do we have anybody nearby who actually has bad enough defenses to get in on? We actually do. So rather than do that, we're just going to set these guys to raid, and we're going to go raid this province. So, how many troops do they have here? 563 total up here. So this province will slowly but surely get a little better. How are we going to handle our lovely wife here? She's lustful, at least, which means that her fertility is going to be increased. The concern is that she's going to be... Oh, she likes me because I have higher piety now. That's good to know. Let's see, what else do I need to do? Is my spy master? That's not good. Alright, so this guy has 375 troops. And we haven't really lost any troops, because while we have lost a few troops here, we're actually re-getting our levies back at home. So we should be fine there. There we go. So we looted that. Now the question is, do we want... That guy has so much stewardship, holy shit. Do we now want to go after this guy here? He's got 375 troops there. I don't think that I am good enough at Marshall right now to justify that. I'm going to wait until I finish basically getting this new administration and recently conquered stuff done. And once we're out of the woods there, we can go in. This place is doing fine. So we're up to 92. We can almost form that duchy. And we want to take a look at our de jure duchies here, because if I can take control of enough territory, I want to be able to go after certain things. So, here's our stuff. Really bad. Wow, our character is so horrifically bad at everything. This is such a weak character. This character is actually weaker than the characters that I was doing last time, and they were really bad. Okay, so my Marshal is doing his best to make up for the fact that I am terrible. And I could actually send my Marshal to go raiding up here, but that seems silly to me. There's 375 levies. Do I want to just declare this war now? I could. I'm going to declare this, actually. I'm going to declare a subjugation war here before they recover this. So we've declared the war, and now we've raised our levies already in Nidaros, and it looks like part of this has come back. Yeah. So Namdal has come back a little bit. We're not going to put ourselves in charge. We don't need to be training troops over there anymore. So we are actually going to take him away and slap him in charge of all these does he have cancer or something? What is that? Oh great, so he's sick. Lovely. Well, no better place to be than at war while sick. Your chest pains will not lead to any bad stuff happening, I'm sure. You will be fine. Alright, so we're just going to pop in here, and we're going to take control of this. I forgot to actually raid that fully, but that's okay. So, if I have 508 troops with a 20 skill leader, is that enough to take out 375 in the mountains? I don't have 50% more troops than they do, but I do have a pretty... Is this my spy master? I don't think that's appropriate. So I gain 5 piety, which will make my wife like me more, which is always good. It's for the alliance. That's sad. Okay, so how many troops can I raise here? I can raise about 20 troops here. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And then we'll move all of these to the left flank, I guess. Oh good, we actually got some extra troops in this one. Alright, so what we can do is... do we need 3 flanks? Do we need a flank that has just 3 people in it? Seems kind of silly, but whatever. We'll run the gamble. So we'll have 3 people on one flank, just like an archer. And we will pop over here. We will try to subjugate this guy. If we succeed, that will be good. Who are you trying to kill? Who's Stibjorn? My seer. My seer is very good. And you are a dick. What are you? Stop. Bad. Just don't want him killing my seer. My seer is important. Okay, so I do have empty flanks there, so we should be able to pretty easily... There we go. That's it. So we've basically won this war now. And we should hopefully be able to siege this down before they siege down anything else. Which will mean that we'll be able to take Helgoland. Which will also mean that we'll have taken all 3 provinces in our primary duchy. And it won't give me enough control of Finnmark to form that duchy, I don't think. I'm going to turn the other cheek, because Patient is really good, and I didn't get it, because it wasn't. My life is sad. Ooh, nice! Good job. So those guys are running really, really far away. And we're going to finish this siege. Siege is done. And now, we enforce our demands. Boom. So we just usurped their provinces. We now have 4 provinces to our name. We can raid Finnmark. So let's do it. Do we want to take Finnmark, though? I don't think we want to take Finnmark. We just want to raid it. Don't. Screw that. This place is... Yeah. This only has a tiny amount of loot. There's no reason to try and do that. Okay, so... completely not worth it. So we've got 800 here, 700 here, 500 and some here. So these 2 territories are worth looking into next. Let's take a look here. I can make the Duchy of Nidaros. I cannot make the Duchy of Finnmark. In order to make that, I have to have exactly 100%, because otherwise I only have 50%. So, we could get one of these provinces, if we want. Alternatively, I could try going here, and then here. How how close are we to getting Norway? So we need a total of how many provinces? We need to have at least 51%, which means that we have to have 10. So if we have 10 provinces, that will be sufficient. Which means that we need a lot more than we have right now. So how are we going to handle that? So we've got... we only have 3 right now. We don't have 4. We have 4 in our domain, but one of them is not a part of Norway. As you can see, it's part of Lapland. So... is that true? No, I think we actually should have more than that. We should have 2 more than that. We should have 5, I think. Let me take a look. No. Oh, it's just the counties. It's not the total titles. Okay, we're fine. So that means that I do need to take that number of counties, which means that I'm going to need to start moving through here. So if I take this top one, then that doesn't get me to the point where I can get a duchy. I can take one of these, one of these. So 1, 2. Well, it doesn't make a huge difference right now because we have an idea of where we're going to go next. I'm probably going to go to one of these 2. It's a river. So we want to take Jamtaland. Jamtaland seems like a better province. Has more loot. Okay, we don't need to do anything in here. I'm just sort of waiting. And oh, were these guys gonna go raid? Yes. Do I want them to go raid there, or do I want them to raid and just raid somewhere else first? I'm gonna go raid Finnmark. It's fine. If there's some consolidation up in the Finnmark region, I don't actually care that much. There's 3 loot to take, and 3 is better than nothing, so we might as well take it. You know what? I don't actually like this idea. I don't want to give other people the freedom to consolidate power. So my marshal is now just chilling. I have him train troops in Nidaros. And we're going to take him out of Nidaros when we're not actively, like basically as soon as we get into war. But he can give us a larger levy to raise, and then once we've raised the levy, he doesn't need to be there anymore. And he can give us a substantially larger levy to raise, as you can see. So we're going to get 100 extra troops compared to what we had just now. Okay. So, I would love to be able to form an alliance with her, but unfortunately my character is such a dick. He's so bad. He's so bad in so many ways. Craven is a universally just bad trait. Slothful is a universally bad trait. And cruel is an almost exclusively bad trait. There's really not much upside to cruel either. Okay, so got these 2 places. So this place is starting to recover. And do I need the massive swarms? Maybe. I might need the massive swarms if I'm going to go after these guys at some point. Because this is part of Sweden, it's not part of Norway. But I believe that they are allied to someone over here. Yeah, see, this guy here has an alliance with these guys. So when I do try to move in that direction, I'm going to have some issues as a result. I don't think it can take... Good morning. I don't think I can take Norway without getting into a fight with Sweden. Or Denmark. One of the two. So we'll see how this goes. Are you guys getting up now? You don't pause the stream, but are you guys getting up now? Okay. Because I don't want to be taking over your living room for... Okay. So you guys are getting up now? Alright. Alright, so we are... Okay, well, while we were having a conversation, our wife died of stress. I'm going to go ahead and blame Tina for that, even though she had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Okay, so we now need to get remarried, but we're going to end stream here for right now, and then we will restart in the future. Possibly in a few minutes, possibly in a few days. It will depend entirely upon everything else. So, later folks.